where he was drafted?
I do not know. Drafted to Vietnam or drafted to the Steelers from Notre Dame?
Drafted the Steelers. Like, in other words, the thing that's so unique about him is he had to work for everything. Like, everything in his life. And yes, he was drafted by the U.S. Army in the late 60s, and to your point, was wounded, unfortunately, in combat during the Vietnam War. But even before that, he had to work for everything just to get to the NFL. He would, like, we all thought the fall of Shador was significant, being a fifth-round draft pick. Rocky Bleier was drafted in the 16th round. There were 416 picks in 1968 before Rocky Bleier.
Incredible. I love that stat. Thank you so much, Shep. That's awesome.
Of course, Will. Appreciate you, man. Great call. And great nuggets on Rocky Bleier as well. Will, you have a great rest of your evening. Number to get aboard is 888-710-4ISN. That is 888-710-4476. Let's get to Alex in Miami. Alex, always good to hear from you, man. How you doing, buddy?
Good, Chip. How you doing?
Doing well, thanks.
I'm really happy for what they did with Rafael Nadal. I think tennis pulled it off good, and it was a class act. Sometimes in life, and I said it before on talking to you, that we give flowers to people that are dead now when they're alive.
Yep.
And I'm happy that they did it for him now. But my biggest takeaway of the whole ceremony, that was beautiful, by the way, and all that, was the fact that his son was there, and that's all being taped and recorded. Because,
well
10, 12 years, 15 years, whatever it is down the line, he's going to be able to say that he was there, and he's going to realize how big his dad really was during his professional career and during the tenure when he was playing tennis. And I think that's going to mean a lot to him and also to his family.
You know, Alex, it was I watched his 35-minute press conference with the media, and there was a common theme there that they kept saying, even before their questions with Rafa, like, we just want to thank you for how you always treated us, how you always made us equals, how you never stuck your nose up at us, you were never condescending. You don't hear that from members of the media when it comes to athletes. You just don't. I mean, when Derek Jeter comes back to Yankee Stadium, the media is not, they're not thanking, and this is not a knock on Jeter, they're not thanking him for how he treated them. You know what I mean? When guys come back and get their jerseys retired and they're doing their press conferences, you don't have members of the media who are saying, hey, we really miss you. We just want to thank you again. The fact that this guy played for well over 2 decades and he did not break one single racket. John McEnroe would break multiple rackets a tournament. I mean, the class that this guy exuded on the tennis court, I don't know if it's appreciated enough, but I do know, to your point, no one was more deserving of a ceremony like that than Rafael Nadal at Roland Garros.
Well, he's synonymous with the word exemplary, basically. And he set the example for not only tennis players, but athletes around the world of how somebody should behave and hold themselves to a certain standard.
Yeah. And Alex, like, I mean, to get into the nitty gritty of tennis, that's a tough place to play if you're not French. Like, it's just, I'm not saying this is every person at that stadium. I'm not saying this is always the case, but that's a tough crowd to win over. I mean, we've seen that stadium boo Martina Hingis off the court where she's crying in the arms of her mom. We've seen Serena Williams break down at press conferences because the crowd's been that brutal. You know what I mean?
I definitely do. But he's never acted that way. He, like I said, he's been exemplary, and he's the true word of a professional.
Yeah.
Whether it's as an athlete or as a person in life, he's the true word of professionalism, and he sets an example, and he's really a role model to people in life and other athletes of how somebody should behave. He's really a class act.
You can say that again. Plus, he's got more money in that wristwatch of his than most people do with their own houses. But Alex, what was the thought you wanted to share about Memorial Day?
Well, the thought that I wanted to share is that I wanted to tell you something, but I was waiting for the right moment. And now that you're on prime time, I wanted to tell you that I'm going to speak on behalf of myself and on behalf of some of the callers and on behalf of some of the listeners. You're not perfect. You eat tuna from the machine.
Not anymore. It was just one time. It was one time.
But you did it. But you did it.
I know I did.
But you did it.
But it's protein.
You tried to sing on air. To sing on air.
I see. Now I'm not going to sing. I see that'd be disrespectful to JR because I know I'm not American Idol material. So the only time I'm going to sing is actually when I host The Good Shepherd. I'm not going to do it on someone else's show.
Well, but you're not perfect. But you know what? The bottom line is that I wanted to tell you, because I do want to give you your flowers, that you're not perfect, but you're perfect for us. And I want to thank you for all the knowledge of sports that you have and sharing it with us.
It's my pleasure, Alex. And you know, obviously anyone that listens to the Infinity Sports Network knows you are an avid caller, but you're a friend of the show. You're a genuine friend of the show. You add so much value to what we do. And that's, you know, Alex, I mean, you're obviously one of them. There's so many people I think of that add so much material and substance to what we do, which is the beauty of Sports Talk Radio. It's not just one voice. It's not just one person thinking they know everything. It's a conversation. It's a collective, you know, collaboration, and you were part of that. So while you're giving me flowers, I appreciate that. I would give them right back to you, man. So I appreciate you, Alex. We'll talk over the weekend. You have a good rest of your Memorial Day weekend, okay?
Thank you, Shep.
Thank you, Alex. Always good to talk to you, brother. Number to get aboard is 888-710-4ISN. That is 888-710-4476. Let's get to Jimmy in Silver Spring, Maryland. Jimmy, hope you're having a good Memorial Day weekend so far, and what do you have for us, sir?
I am. First time calling to the show. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Oh, you know Staubach, yeah.
I do. Yes. I do. He served in the Navy for 5 years. I thought he served over in Vietnam for 4 years, but he was only there for a year, and he did his other 4 years in the States. Back then, you couldn't get the dispensation that these kids are getting now. You had to go serve your military duty. It said on Google that he volunteered for a year in Nam and then came back and served the rest of his time. Your caller, Rocky Bleier, moved up my list to number 2. He replaces Roger Staubach. Pat Tillman is number 1 on the list. God rest his soul. But there's another guy by the name of Chad Hennings who played for the Cowboys. He was a fighter pilot and did 3 terms in Afghanistan and then came to the Cowboys. Now, the thing, I was a reservist for 10 years. I never went to combat.
Sure.
But when they shipped out people, my unit got called up. I did basic at Fort Dix, and I also got shipped to Fort Dix for 18 months because we had to take the place of the personnel that left out. Ted Williams, I believe, was a reservist. He got called up. He's still a hero. He still did a great thing, but Pat Tillman is the only guy that we've talked about that wasn't forced or called up or drafted. He volunteered and went in. That's why I love the guy. I think he's a great American hero.
You know, Jimmy, you gave us some great nuggets there. The thing that's so unique about Pat was not just that he did it and gave up millions of dollars in the process, but he was becoming a star for the Arizona Cardinals. Like this wasn't, you know, and it would be the same amount of heroism and courage to do this if you're a third string safety. But Pat Tillman was coming off of being the franchise leader in tackles in a single season.
Hey man, he was a great ball player, and I've since he's died, I've heard the stories about when he was in high school and how he looked out for the underprivileged, and you know how he had some friends and they were getting called the N-word, and he went and stepped up for him and beat the guy's butt. You know, he was just a great guy, man, a true American hero.
Like Jimmy, like there's all kinds of stories about him. Like he would, when he was at Arizona State, while players were partying, and that's not just an Arizona State thing. That's a major Division I program thing. Pat Tillman was in the bleachers reading books and talking about philosophy and talking with anyone that would listen about the quantum physics and talk to people about the greater good and the meaning of life. Like, he was just a free spirit, but he was also a life seeker. He seeked knowledge. He seeked other people's opinions. He wasn't closed off to anything. He was it was a shame.
Yeah. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to make one last point. Go ahead. It was a shame he was killed by friendly fire. That's the thing about this. He was killed by friendly fire. If you listen to the reports, he was called into the radio, and they tried to cover it up.
Yeah. That was the news. But Jimmy, and that's obviously a well-known fact at this point. But this is what I would say. It's not how he died that mattered. It's what he sacrificed and what he stood for in life that really,
I agree, brother.
Really matters.
I agree, brother. But the world would be a better place if he was still walking around.
Of course, absolutely.
It does matter.
27. Well, no, but what I'm saying is that does not diminish for 1 second how he died. What the sacrifice he made. That's what I'm saying. I get your point loud and clear, Jimmy.
I agree wholeheartedly. Yes. And like I said, Rocky Blyers moved to number 2 on my list.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Jimmy, appreciate the phone call.
Have a great one, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Call back anytime, man. Good call on your part. Number to get aboard is 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. We have come up with our 5 notable athletes that have served this country admirably, that have truly honored and embodied the spirit of Memorial Day. We've spent a great length talking about the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA, the Western Conference Finals in the NBA, the absolute shellacking when it comes to the Stanley Cup, Western Conference Final, and Eastern Conference Final, when we all know it's going to be a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup Final with the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. We all know that's the direction it's headed in. But to me, when you get to do a show on Memorial Day, it really highlights athletes more so accomplishing off the court than on the court. And my notable 5 list, David Robinson, number 5. Number 4, I have Elgin Baylor. Number 3, Jackie Robinson. Number 2, Roger Staubach. And then number 1, Pat Tillman. What does your notable list look like for athletes that have truly, truly embodied the spirit of Memorial Day? We'll get to your calls on the other side. So much more to do right here on the JR Sport Brief. My name is David Shepard, a.k.a. The Good Shepherd, filling in. You can always find me at Shep On Air on any social media platform. We're coming right back.
Clones, listen up. Not all beef jerky is the same. In fact, there are major differences in quality from one brand to the next. Old Trapper is a better way to snack, chock full of good protein to satisfy your manliest hunger cravings. Every bite is better for you and higher in essential protein than chips, sugar-filled energy bars, and candy. Old Trapper in the Clearview bag is the world's finest jerky, made with only the best ingredients. So ask for Old Trapper by name because no other jerky compares. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Only 29% of the Earth's surface is land, which is not a lot. So if you want to see more of the world, you have to reframe the way you travel. Embark on an expedition cruise with National Geographic Lindblad Expeditions. Learn more alongside seasoned experts sailing aboard small ships made for exploring. Don't just see the world, see it differently. National Geographic Lindblad Expeditions. Visit natgeoexpeditions.com/cruises to learn more.
Much for term life insurance? There is a tremendous price war in the term life industry. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Thinking about updating your old, outdated tub to a new modern shower? West Shore Home is America's largest tub-to-shower conversion company. With over 50,000 five-star reviews and a peace of mind guarantee, we're one of the best options for your project. And right now, we're offering some huge savings, which could save you thousands. Go to westshorebath.com to learn more. You can schedule online and have someone out as early as tomorrow to lock in your savings. That's westshorebath.com.
As a business owner, it's important to keep your business connected. Spectrum Business is committed to keeping your business online, whenever and wherever you need us, all backed by the Spectrum Commitment. Get fast, reliable internet starting at $40 per month when bundled, or level up your internet speed and get a 3-year price guarantee. Learn how Spectrum Business can help your business stay connected at spectrum.com/business. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
Will you be okay for the show Saturday?
Yep. Look, ZocDoc has a ton of in-network doctors who can see me this week.
This week?
Reviews say Dr. Okami has a great bedside manner. Or Dr. Stafford. Patients say he never rushes appointments and has an opening today.
You should rush to his office.
And booked.
Now I need ZocDoc to find an ear doctor. You've got options. Book on ZocDoc today.
Great solos don't make a symphony. In music or AI, get AI that's in tune with your business at IBM.com. The AI built for business. IBM.
20% off sunglasses from Shadon Precision Eyewear. Hurry over to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and use promo code SPRING. See better and play better with Shadon. That's SeeBetterPlayBetter.com. Promo code SPRING.
Oh, Milo, no, not on the carpet. I think we need to go to the vet.
I found a Veg ER for pets, only 10 minutes away.
Yes, Veg. That's the one Dr. Holt told us about. Jen loves that place.
Wow, the reviews. Everyone loves this place.
Veg ER for pets. This is Ann. How can I help you?
Hi, I think my dog Milo ate his toy.
Let me get one of our veterinarians on the line. Hey, you must be Milo. Let's take you to see our vet right away.
Whew, I'm so glad you guys are open.
Veg ER for pets. Open 24/7.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or in third-party delivery platforms.
Wichita's most listened to sports radio. 97.5 and 1240 KFH. Sports Radio, KFH.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
Hey, man, first-time caller, long-time listener, 2-3 years. Found you a little bit ago. Love the voice, love your professionalism.
Here's JR.
Close. Here's Shep. I love JR, though. This is the JR Sport Brief. My name is David Shepard. Always great to fill in for my guy, JR. And great to be with you on this Memorial Day weekend. Hope you're smooth. Hope you're cool. And I know all of us are honoring and remembering those that made the ultimate sacrifice for this country. And we honor those that are athletes that went well beyond the typical quote-unquote responsibility that comes with wearing that helmet, wearing that uniform, wearing that baseball glove. Athletes that went well beyond the realm of sports and sacrificed for the armed forces. We've honored them on the show. We'll continue to do so. We do have Liam, Chris Persianen, coming on with us at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And Good. We had that confirmed.
Excellent.
So we look forward to that. He better bring it.
Oh, yeah.
He better bring it. Because we had him at 7. And he couldn't do it at 7. So KP knows.
We're charging interest.
That's a good expression. Let's get to Mike in San Diego. Mike, hope you're having a good evening so far, my friend. What do you have for us, sir?
Yeah, Shep, I am, and happy Memorial Day. Listen, I got a name for you. He ended up with San Diego Padres baseball announcer for years. He was a Yankee second baseman and a Marine pilot over Korea, Jerry Coleman.
Oh, that's a really good one. He was a hell of a broadcaster, by the way.
Yes, he was. We loved him here in San Diego.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God. I mean, he's a great Yankee. I mean, I think of Jerry Coleman.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you know, back then, you know, you were, it was essentially, you know, there was no special treatment. If you were of age and of health, you served. So that's a really good one, Mike. And apparently he was nicknamed. He had a nickname of the Colonel. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Quite true.
Yes. You know, that's a really.
He was called the Colonel here in San Diego. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Take care, buddy.
My pleasure, Mike. You as well, man. Number to get aboard: 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Let's get to Frank in Rhode Island. Frank, how you doing this evening? What do you have for us, sir?
Good, Shep. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah, you know what? It's a pleasure to hear you this time of the evening. Normally I catch you in the middle of the night here in Rhode Island.
I know. I got to be honest with you. This feels like, for me, like 10 in the morning doing a show 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. Imagine if I did the Zach Gelb show. I'd feel like I'd be waking up at 3 in the morning.
That's what I mean. It's great. I'll get some sleep besides having to listen to you now, but I catch your show all the time. It's great. You're wonderful.
Thank you, man.
I'm just there's some great callers, great people, and obviously I just want to put an addendum to your list. Obviously from Rhode Island in the Boston area, Ted Williams.
Yeah, we've spoken about Ted Williams at great length. You know, I'm not. This doesn't minimize at all what he did. I obviously, you know, you served in the Marine Corps during World War II, during the Korean War, and, you know, that military service interrupted 5 years of his prime. You know, it kind of, again, it doesn't minimize anything he did. It's incredible what he was able to do, you know, obviously going on active duty. But I feel like in that time, so many of those guys did it that it almost,
I understand.
You know what I mean? It was almost, you know, like Roger Staubach, like best player in the country on the cover of Time magazine, then goes and serves the country for another 5 years before even setting foot in the NFL. Right, like that. Like that's like
the Big Five list is. You could keep going. There's some great guys. Obviously, Pat Tillman's everybody's number one. Just a great man.
Absolutely.
And I like the caller that added Rocky Blyer. To me, he was the guy, you know, being a football guy. But, you know, I just wanted to add an addendum for Ted, you know, 19-time All-Star. I mean, it was like unbelievable.
He was a 19-time All-Star and he missed 5 years?
Yeah.
Ted Williams was a 19.
Look up his stats.
Ted Williams was a 19. Let me see. I'm going to go. And I can't always trust Wikipedia. Damn, you're 1,000% right, Frank. He was a 19-time. Now, here's the thing. This is what I don't understand about this, okay? And I love myself some Hank Aaron. Okay, Hank Aaron was, if memory serves it correctly, he was a 25-time All-Star. But how is that possible when he only played 22 seasons? Now, Rock, what's the answer to that?
The answer to that is back in the day, they used to play 2 All-Star games a year.
Right.
That's what it was.
Right. So that kind of, okay, so that, like, to me, Barry Bonds is a 7-time MVP. But it's not the same as someone being an MVP in the NFL 5 times, like Peyton Manning, or Aaron Rodgers 4 times, or, you know, Jim Brown 3 times, because Frank, the reason I say that is because when you're the MVP of the NFL or the NBA or the NHL, you're the MVP of everything. Where in Major League Baseball, you got 2 MVPs every year. It's not the same.
Right. I think one of the great stats to me in baseball is the Triple Crown. You know, and I know Ted, I think, won that 2 times. Pretty sure 2, maybe 3. But I know he did win it 2 times. Ted, you know, that to me, that's the amazing.
Well, obviously, Miggy's the last guy to do it. Ted Williams did win it 2 times. You're right. But when he won that Triple Crown, Did he lead the AL in every of those three major categories, or was it baseball? That's why.
It's baseball.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. That's impressive. That's really impressive. But to me, you can't be a 25-time All-Star if you've only played 22 years.
Although a lot of people try.
I know. And listen, and that's not a knock on Hank. And that's not a knock on Hammering Hank. The guy still, to this day, is in my eyes, and look at 98% of other baseball fans' eyes, the all-time home run leader. I know 755 is not 762, but he did 755 the right way. So
I got you. It's unbelievable. But anyway, it's just from the area, that's the deal. But I just, without a great guy like that, that was my dad's guy coming back from World War II and all that stuff. So you just got to make a mention of it,
Absolutely. Well, hey, listen, Frank, good call on your part, man. You have a good rest of your weekend.
I can get some sleep now, baby.
Sounds good, man. Listen, I'm about to get some sleep in about an hour and a half myself. I'm exhausted, but then again, I think of all those people that made the ultimate sacrifice on Memorial Day, and I got no freaking excuse. Let's get to Phil in Lewiston. Phil, how you doing, man? What you got for us?
Hi, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
You as well, Phil.
Well, okay. So I heard your topic tonight in your top five, and I was really interested in calling in. I was hoping you would have my guy in the top five, and because we're lucky we get two big days to celebrate our veterans and their sacrifices and giving up everything for our protection and our security.
Phil, full disclosure. So Liam does an excellent job producing. He did put the name of the individual you're referring to. I want you to explain the significance of this man because he doesn't get nearly the recognition that he deserves. And this is a great example of someone that really, truly embodies Memorial Day weekend.
Right. So like years ago growing up, you'd always see his name on a lot of like the Wall of Fame at back then. I think it was Rich Stadium, and everybody was going like, who is that guy? But the gentleman I'm referring to is Bob Kelsu. He was a tackle or a guard from Oklahoma, I believe, and he played for the Bills in I think 68 or 69, and he was fulfilling his ROTC agreement when he left the Bills in 69.
Correct.
And I didn't get a chance to look it up on Wikipedia, but I read all about him.
No, as soon as I saw Bob Kelsu's name, I looked it up on Sports Illustrated, and I'm like, because I knew there was a few other guys that had passed away while being an active athlete because they served their country, and he's one of them. So everything you're saying is right. He was a tackle, by the way.
Right, yeah, a tackle, yeah. I knew he was a tackle. He was on the line, tackle guard from Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah, but
the big thing about Bob Kelsu is he was killed in action.
Yeah, he was the only U.S. pro athlete to die in Vietnam while being an active athlete. Correct.
And that was around the time Phil was born, and I read more about it. And his daughter, he only got to spend like less than a month, I think, with his daughter before he got shipped out. And she and I are like the same age, and I always think about it, and America was in the middle of withdrawing then and Vietnamization, and there wasn't a lot of good news. Even though we had less troops there, there was still casualties.
Yeah.
And so I think his number was number 61 for the Bills, and the real Bills fans all know who Bob Kelsu is. He's number one in our hearts. So.
Phil, you did an excellent job commemorating someone that, again, was the only active U.S. pro athlete to serve our country and die while doing so in Vietnam. That's a great example. If I could do this particular list over again, he would be in the top five. Like, he would be one of those five. He has to be. So right. I'm glad you brought him up. Excellent call, Phil. Appreciate you, man.
Okay, great talking with you.
You as well. That was a great one. That was an absolute great one. Justin, but I've heard the name, because I knew there were other athletes besides Pat Tillman that walked away while being in their prime for a larger calling, for a deep commitment to the armed forces / military. And Bob Kalsu, the only U.S. pro athlete to die while serving in Vietnam.
I did not know that story at all until this caller. So I was actually just going on Wikipedia, Pro Football Reference, reading about this guy.
Can't always trust Wikipedia.
I was can't always trust Wikipedia, but there is a note on Wikipedia that says that the NFL Films put together a feature on him that was nominated for an Emmy in 1999. So definitely that's something I want to do when get some free time, is find that NFL Films feature and watch it and learn a little bit more about his story and his legacy.
And it's a heck of a legacy. Like he's from, he was part of that very special Oklahoma team in 1967. Played in the Orange Bowl. He's a member that of a family that immigrated from the Czech Republic. Like his grandparents came over with nothing. Like really unique story. And I think he passed away at 24, 25.
25, I think.
Yeah,
and there's also, in reading up on him, there's actually a long unrecognized NFL player who died in Vietnam as well, Don Steinbrunner. He died in 1967. He played about, I believe it was 8 games in his NFL career before he left for Vietnam. And he, apparently long unrecognized. He was honored by the Browns in 2004. And I believe that's when that name started to go around, as well as Bob Kalsu, for an active player who died in Vietnam.
No, just point of clarification. Steinbrunner, not Briner, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay,
Brunner,
Brunner,
and then an ER.
Brunner, right. You learn something new every day. His name I never heard of.
Me neither.
I have heard of Bob. I have not heard of Don Steinbrunner, but I will. I mean, that's the cool thing about doing a list like this, is you get a lot of different opinions and you get a lot of different perspectives, and you learn even more about individuals that made the ultimate sacrifice for this country, and this guy, wow. Don Steinbrunner, he was 35, but that's still too young. That's still way too young.
Purple Heart. Got a Purple Heart.
Wow.
And he had a leg injury from college, and he was able to opt out, and he opted in to serve.
Yeah. I mean, if that doesn't embody and encapsulate what it means to serve and what it means to celebrate and really honor Memorial Day, I don't know what would be. Number to get aboard is 888-710-4ISN. That is 888-710-4476. We're going to continue to get to your calls on the other side. Before we do anything else, let's get to our latest sports flash. Here is Justin Rock.
Infinity Sports Network Sports Flash.
Hey, David, Game 4 Western Conference Finals between the Thunder and Timberwolves tipping off momentarily. Minnesota trying to even the series at 2 wins apiece on their home floor. Prior to tonight's game, Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault believed his team had put Saturday night's 42-point beatdown behind him.
We do a great job of that day to day, not overreacting to the emotion of the outcome. Certainly want to react to what we can learn from it, but we're in good spirits, and we're like they always are.
NHL Panthers trying to be the first team to punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Final. Game 4 tonight against the Hurricanes just underway. That one scoreless, 5 minutes left in the first period. Panthers up 3-0 trying to punch its ticket to the final for the 3rd straight year. MLB Memorial Day games in progress. Dodgers up on the Guardians 6-2 in the 7th. Twins and Rays scoreless in the 6th. Pirates D-backs just underway. Finals Tigers Mets 3-1. Brewers squeak by the Red Sox 3-2. Cubs clip the Rockies 3-1. Orioles over the Cardinals 5-2. Blue Jays beat the Rangers 2-1. Reds rock the Royals 7-4. Mets walk off the White Sox 2-1. French Open, Carlos Alcaraz, Yannick Sinner, American Madison Keys all winners. And in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark expected to miss a minimum of 2 weeks with a quad strain. With your sports flash at the bottom of every hour, I'm Justin Rock.
Call the Infinity Sports Network anytime. 888-710-4ISN.
Have lunch with NFL's Rich Eisen, weekday afternoons 11 until 2, right here on Wichita's most listened to Sports Radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them.
I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
For Phi, winning the fight against vision loss means seeing new ways to push himself. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is committed to funding research to end blinding retinal diseases. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Learn more at fightingblindness.org.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
As a business owner, it's important to keep your business connected. Spectrum Business is committed to keeping your business online whenever and wherever you need us, all backed by the Spectrum Commitment. Get fast, reliable internet starting at $40 per month when bundled, or level up your internet speed and get a 3-year price guarantee. Learn how Spectrum Business can help your business stay connected at spectrum.com/business. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
20% off sunglasses from Shadin Precision Eyewear. Hurry over to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and use promo code SPRING. See better and play better with Shadin. That's SeeBetterPlayBetter.com. Promo code SPRING.
Veg ER for pets. All right, Milo, we're here. I cannot believe you swallowed your whole toy.
Welcome to Veg. You must be Milo. Let's get you to a vet.
Do I wait here?
No, you stay with your pet.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stirk. Hey, Milo. I'm going to sit on the floor with him so he can be more comfortable for the exam.
I wasn't sure how serious it was.
Looking at the x-rays, he's going to need surgery. But the good news is, he should be okay.
We're lucky there's a Veg, Milo.
Veg ER for pets. Open 24/7.
How do you achieve the ultimate shopping experience? Choose a Cub Cadet dealership. Experience your local Cub Cadet dealer, Buckeye Valley Equipment in Hebron today. Get unrivaled expertise, ongoing support, and other advantages you can only find at your local dealer. With you for every part of the ride.
Experience Carfagna's, Columbus's Italian food headquarters. Shop our award-winning market, voted best butcher, specialty shop, and best grocery store in Columbus. Taste the flavors of Italy at our restaurant, voted best Italian food and catering. Our food is homemade from scratch using family recipes from 4 generations of Carfagna's. Expand your palate in our wine shop, voted best in Columbus. You have to experience Carfagna's, family owned and operated since 1937.
Out here, it's not only the amazing views, but the way time stretches out a little longer. How laughter bellows louder among friends, and how the breeze hits just right at the summit. With All Trails, you can discover and experience the best of nature, with over 450,000 trails worldwide and navigation right at your fingertips. Find your outside with All Trails. Download the free app today and find your next outdoor adventure.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teens require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Major League Baseball, after 3 straight day games, time for a night game for the Kansas City Royals at home at Kauffman Stadium in interleague play, hosting Cincinnati.
the Royals and the Reds. Live coverage at 6:30 Tuesday evening. That's right here on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
The number one sports talk station in Wichita. This is KFH.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
Hey, JR, I want to tell you what's so special about your show, man. You give everybody a chance to get their opinions out there, no matter where they're from, and I appreciate that.
Here's JR.
Let me tell you something so special about JR. I remember when I became his full-time executive producer back in 2021, and I haven't worked with him in that kind of capacity for, I want to say, how long has it been? It's been at least 2 years, I think. JR was great to work with, like genuinely fun to work with. And he would always start every show. It didn't matter what was going on in the world of sports. He would start off with, "Hey, Shep, you good?" And that made me always feel like I had value with him and I was respected. And that was just a really nice touch he had with everything. I was talking to Liam, you and I were talking about this, and we were, is there a cooler dude? Is there a smoother dude in sports talk radio than JR Sport Brief?
I don't think so, no. And I knew about him before I started working here.
Right.
Being from New York, you do a lot of shifts on our sister station, WFAN. And
sure.
That was, whether it was Saturday or Sunday, the middle of the day, you can always count on JR giving not only good sports, but would go off on a tangent for 10, 15 minutes about life.
Right.
And it would be some of the best stuff, best radio, in my opinion, that I've heard in a while.
I've learned a lot from him. I've learned a lot from him and how he handles things. And when things don't go his way, if the sound doesn't get played properly, if a caller, botches, their topic, and he doesn't let anything penetrate. He doesn't ever have his feathers ruffled, right? He's always in control. And I guess I'm giving him his flowers because I feel like on a day where the tennis world gave Rafael Nadal his flowers, I feel like it's appropriate with JR. And especially, and also because you're coming back with rejoins how great JR is, I figure I add on to it as well.
Of course.
But yeah, man, he's just a good dude. Like anyone who has listened to JR, and I'm assuming most of you listening right now have listened to JR extensively for the better part of 5 years here on CBS Sports Radio and then Infinity. He's as good as advertised off the air, on the air. He's as nice a guy as you would think. Number to get aboard is 888-710-4ISN. That is 888-710-4476. Hey, JR, you and I should go back and forth, by the way, on your show, man. We should have some NBA conversations now. Maybe he doesn't want to do that because he thinks I'll be right more than him. Who knows? Let's get to Lee in Quincy, Massachusetts. Lee, hope you're having a good evening so far. What do you got for us, sir? Yeah. Yep, I agree with that. I think Rocky Marciano is a good example. Sure. Joe Louis, absolutely. Served the country bravely and valiantly. Anything else? Okay. I appreciate that, Lee. Hope you have a good rest of your Monday as well. What's that? I like the Timberwolves in Game 4. Yeah. I do. Why I like them? Just because I think Anthony Edwards, 30 points through 3 quarters, more points than SGA and Jalen Williams combined for their entire fourth quarter performance. And he just has that swag. 23, and he looks like he doesn't fear anything. Thank you for the call, Lee. Man, so talkative. Let's get to Paul in Westfield, Massachusetts. Paul, how you doing, man? Paul, can you hear me? Are you hearing them on the phone, Liam? Because
I'm not, no.
Okay. I'm going to put Paul on hold. Let me see if Kevin in Dallas, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, man. I'm 1 for 3 this segment in terms of being able to hear the phone callers. Kevin, go ahead, man.
Hey, listen, I don't know if you've got an honorable mention section or a greatest generation section, but I think Tom Landry has to be somewhere in there, in either section. the guy flew 25 missions in World War II.
Sure.
He came back, and he was a player coach for the New York Giants. He coached the offense, developed the offense, while guess who? Lombardi was coaching the defense. And I guess Jim Lee Howell had enough time maybe to do the crossword puzzle or something, because those guys went at it with their coaching.
Yeah.
Really hot and heavy. Each would try to outdo the other system.
Sure.
But the biggest star crossing was when, because of Landry and his greatness, he was able to develop Roger Staubach in his greatness. So,
yes,
it's sort of a situation where I think Tom deserves some sort of recognition, at some point. But I didn't know how we should do that.
No, that's a really, Kevin, that's a really good one on your part, man. And I appreciate the phone call. Thank you. That's a great example. Obviously, someone that set the paradigm and example for Roger Staubach. So for sure. Let's get to Paul in Westfield, Massachusetts. Paul, you got 2 minutes. Go ahead, sir.
Chef Lawrence Peter Vera.
Yeah.
Before he became Yogi, the national star, he was a gunner's mate on a rocket boat from 43 to 46, and he survived to become an 18-time MVP and a 13-time.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, how many times an MVP?
18-time All-Star.
Okay. See, that's how you know I'm actually listening, Paul. If you would have said, like, hey, Yogi Berra is a 100-time All-Star, and I was like, yeah, Paul, that sounds good. Absolutely. Yeah, he was great. I'm not really paying attention. But when you said 18-time MVP, I'm thinking to myself, in a softball league, maybe, but there's no such thing as an 18-time MVP. To your point, the guy was part of so many combat missions. One of those was the D-Day landings. The other was the Allied invasion of southern France, and he was the gunner's mate on the attack transport, to your point, at USS Bayfield. Like you said, he is the ultimate winner when it comes to Major League Baseball. In fact, there is no one that has won the amount of World Series he has as a player, which was 10. No player has duplicated that before or since. So... what a career it was for. And by the way, his granddaughter Lindsay, she's big in the news. Like, I feel like she's everywhere.
Yes, sir. And as the immortal Howard Cosell would say, it would not be a Memorial Day if you did not remember the athlete who shook up the world, and though he refused to go fight, his might and his league and his power came back after being jailed and held out.
Paul, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of this. Muhammad Ali. I mean, that was not the greatest Howard Cosell impression. I can do better, Paul. Paul, I appreciate the phone call, man. You have a good rest of your weekend, okay, sir?
Happy Memorial Day, bud. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Paul. This is Howard Cosell reporting from Monday Night Football. That was a little better. Up next, we got Chris Persianen of Clutch Points. Gonna discuss Knicks. I'm going to discuss Pacers. He's a credentialed NBA reporter. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Shep for JR. We're coming right back.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits from financially strong insurers.
Call 800-715-9880.
That's right, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling today.
Call 800-715-9880. That's 800-715-9880.
Sponsored by Annuity General. Producers have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer. Increased income is possible using strategies suited to your goals and may require buying multiple annuities and holding them full term.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
As a business owner, it's important to keep your business connected. Spectrum Business is committed to keeping your business online whenever and wherever you need us, all backed by the Spectrum Commitment. Get fast, reliable internet starting at $40 per month when bundled, or level up your internet speed and get a 3-year price guarantee. Learn how Spectrum Business can help your business stay connected at spectrum.com/business. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
20% off sunglasses from Shadon Precision Eyewear. Hurry over to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and use promo code SPRING. See better and play better with Shadon. That's SeeBetterPlayBetter.com. Promo code SPRING.
Veg ER for pets. All right, Milo, we're here. I cannot believe you swallowed your whole toy.
Welcome to Veg. You must be Milo. Let's get you to a vet.
Do I wait here?
No, you stay with your pet.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stirk. Hey, Milo. I'm going to sit on the floor with him so he can be more comfortable for the exam.
I wasn't sure how serious it was.
Looking at the x-rays, he's going to need surgery, but the good news is he should be okay.
We're lucky there's a Veg, Milo.
Veg ER for pets. Open 24/7.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
I've never felt like this before. It's like you just get me. I feel like my true self with you. Does that sound crazy? And it doesn't hurt that you're gorgeous. Okay, that's it. I'm taking you home with me. I mean, you can't find shoes this good just anywhere. Find a shoe for every you from brands you love, like Birkenstock, Nike, Adidas, and more at your DSW store or dsw.com.
If you've been struggling with your weight, Mochi Health is here to help. Mochi Health is a long-term weight loss solution personalized to fit your unique needs and goals. Meet one-on-one with board-certified obesity doctors and registered dietitians who are on a mission to listen. Eligible patients can access custom-formulated GLP-1 medications at an affordable set price and get them delivered to their home each month. Take our free quiz at joinmochi.com and use code AUDIO40 at checkout for $40 off your first month of membership.
How do you achieve the ultimate shopping experience? Choose a Cub Cadet dealership. Discover a wide range of Cub Cadet mowers, parts, and accessories. Get unrivaled expertise, ongoing support, and other advantages you can only find at your local dealer. Some dealers offer delivery options, so your purchase comes fully tuned and ready to mow. Experience a Cub Cadet dealership with you for every part of the ride. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Buckeye Valley Equipment in Hebron today for exceptional equipment, expertise, and more.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teens require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station. You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
Yes, you are. This is the JR Sport Brief. It's not JR, it's David Shepard. It's great to be with you, however and wherever you may be listening from. Could be in your car, could be in your truck. We got Knicks insider, NBA credentialed reporter, Chris Persianen with us on the line. We're going to talk NBA playoffs with him. Before we do that, I know Brent from Jacksonville has been waiting forever. So let's get to Brent in Jacksonville first. Brent, how you doing, my friend? What you got for us?
Hey, Chef. Thanks for taking the call, man.
Of course, man.
I hope everybody's doing good with this reflective Monday.
Yes, sir.
I love the list. Jackie Robinson, Henry. I mean, the list is phenomenal. I wanted just to add, because he was one of my dad's favorites, players, Roberto Clemente, even though he was reservist in the Marines.
Yeah, absolutely. Six years.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't diminish his service nonetheless.
Yep.
And the Pat Tillman situation that you talked about was very heroic and yet very tragic when you go through the details behind the scenes as far as what actually happened to him. So that was my quick take. Oh, just wanted to reach back out when you were talking about Elgin Baylor.
Yes.
I'm an old Dr. J UMass fan.
Oh, sure.
His time from the Virginia Squires before the NBA stuff when everybody merged. But
everyone forgets about the Virginia Squires. Like, I know Liam was mentioning the New York Nets, but everyone forgets Dr. J started his career with the Virginia Squires, and then he really took off when he was a member of the New York Nets, winning the ABA championship multiple times, winning the ABA MVP multiple times.
Correct.
It's when Dr. J is an interesting study, Brent, because when we talk about the greatest of all time, he never gets put into that conversation. But it's unfortunate because we all know Dr. J's greatest time of his career was without question in the ABA, and there was no one who could touch Dr. J in the ABA.
No, he was pretty much just beyond his prime, and yet he was still able to level up. By the time he got to the NBA, he had accomplished pretty much his life's work already, but he still was able to get that championship when Big Mo came on board.
Absolutely. And Brent, by the way, people forget this. He was All-NBA second team in his mid-30s, which back in the early 80s was like being All-NBA in your mid-40s in 2025.
Correct. Different time because they could punish you back then. And I will always be a Doc fan, even though my all-time favorite is currently Michael Jordan. Sorry, LeBron. You are LeBron is great. He's just not the OG. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate the call, man.
Appreciate you, Brent. Anytime, man. Good to hear from you in Jacksonville. Number to get aboard is 888-710-4ISN. That is 888-710-4476. IKP. Good to hear from you, brother. How you doing, man?
Shep, appreciate you having me on. Thanks so much for what I know will be an exciting conversation. You're doing a great job so far with the show, man. It's you know it, but listening in the car, love it.
Thank you, brother. Well, I'd like to think that I know what I'm doing at this point of my hosting career. I know, emphatically, you know what you're doing with your NBA career. I got a quick question for you before we get to Knicks Pacers. Who is the greatest player in NBA history to never win an NBA championship?
They were talking about this on Maggie and Perloff, and I thought it was such an amazing conversation. You have to go across eras because the best candidates out there are 100% not all in the 90s, like some people like to say. Right. I personally, and maybe this is the reverse of recency bias, maybe this was so long before my time that I'm numb and oblivious to some of the shortcomings of players from that time. I would say Elgin Baylor personally.
Ding, 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 ding. See? That's why I know you know basketball. So, okay.
Can I run one more thing by you quick?
You can always run something by me.
Did you know Julius Erving was an Atlanta Hawk for 2 games in 1972 and that he and Pistol Pete Maravich averaged 135 points a game?
Probably in one half. Knowing how prolific those guys were as scorers.
A U.S. District Court ruled Irving had to return to the Squires.
That's amazing.
But for the preseason that he spent with Atlanta, he and Pistol Pete averaged 135 points a game the same year that Watergate happened.
That's amazing. All right, KP, this just kind of puts a bow on what you were saying about Elgin Baylor, because people forget this. Who are the 3 leading scorers in NBA history? So when I ask you that, the list can only comprise of people that have started a career and finished their career. Who are the 3 leading scorers in NBA history? Points per game.
Points per game, not total points?
Yes.
Okay, so I was going to say total points. Yes. You have Malone, you have Kareem,
and Bron. That's neat. That's too easy.
Right. Well, he hasn't ended, but yes.
Right. Well, we know when it is ending, it's going to be the most of all time. Because that's obviously different. But the 3 highest points per game average in NBA history: MJ, Wilt, and
I was going to say it has to be Wilt. Yeah. Wilt has to be 1.
Yes.
MJ, I don't know that I would. Is MJ number 1?
MJ's number 1. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was. I think he was pretty good.
And then number 3 is Elgin Baylor.
Elgin, wow.
And the crazy thing about Elgin Baylor, and people forget this, is he's got 10 all NBA first teams. KP, he's got more all NBA first teams than Magic, Wilt, Larry Bird, and some guy named Kevin Durant. And he only played for 12 and a half seasons. And a couple of those seasons, he was in the Army serving on active duty. So